And we're live. Amateurs, how's it going? Welcome back to Amateur Opinions. It's a brand new week, brand new show. I've got DK and Patu again. Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Thanks for joining me again. You guys were here last week. We spoke about your trip to Turkey and Greece. That was a lot of fun. So, do you guys have a next destination that you're thinking of going to? Or you haven't really thought about that yet?
I think, I always have travels planned up. Mm-hmm. Even if I don't get to go, I will always plan something, you know? Yeah. However, the next one, I'll be doing it with a friend of mine, and I think she's also planning to go with a friend of hers. So I'll planning trips, but separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just to diversify it a little.
I can imagine. And how expensive can traveling be?
You know, the misconception is that travel is very expensive. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not like cheap, right? It's not like you wake up and just swipe out 20K and, you're off.
Right.
However, if you do take time to plan a trip, you give yourself time to save, it can be affordable and reachable and reasonable, So I think it's something that you have to set yourself to do. It has to be a goal of yours to want to travel, and you just put in the work that needs to be done for you to go. Yeah.
So when you were a student, you're working now. When you were a student, were you traveling?
I traveled a lot as a student, more than I did now.
How did you afford that?
So, okay. So how can I say it? I did a lot of things when I was a student, right? So, I had funding for university, so that was sorted. I didn't have to worry.
Okay, that's good.
And I would save my extra allowance. And it wasn't even that much. It would be saving maybe 200, 300, 500. But I made saving a habit. You know what I mean? And when I think it was when I tried to plan my first trip, right? And I realized I wanted to go to Europe. So I wanted to go to do a Euro tour. And as we know, they're never cheap, So I realized that I've been saving 300, 200. It will take long,
Yeah.
And so what I did was I started a business on Instagram.
Okay.
I used to sell waist trainers. I used to sell hair. I used to do a lot of things, man. You can buy things and resell, for example. And I also had a part-time job as a student. I used to tutor, and I also had a job at Mr. Delivery at a call center. So I had side hustles, you know what I mean? Because it was my goal to travel, and for me to be able to travel, I knew I needed money. I didn't have the money, so I found ways of getting the money,
How hard is it to sell stuff on Instagram?
It's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy because I think also just clients trusting you, you know what I mean? That it's not a scam, and also you have to put in a lot of work, just communicating with your clients daily, trying to meet their needs. Some will, ask you to do so much and not buy at the end, which can be frustrating, but you have to have so much patience, and you have to have a good understanding of people and just know how to talk to people, how to communicate with them, and how to sell your products.
And waist trainers, do those things actually work?
Waist trainers, do they work? They work if you work. You know what I mean? It's like saying, does the gym work? Are you working?
Fair enough.
They work if you work.
And did you actually have any of you two guys have actually used waist trainers before?
I have used them, but there are different types of waist trainers. So I'd use a waist belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just that sort of stimulates more sweat by my abdominal area, for example. So there are different kind of, there are those that people want to use to alter the shape of their waist.
Yes.
That I don't think works, but I think the waist belts do work in trying to, help you sweat a bit more and tighten your core and just give you a good posture. So yeah,
that's just during the day.
Just for the duration of the exercise.
Oh, while you're working out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are those the ones you were selling?
Yeah.
So you weren't selling the waste.
I mean, if a client came to me and that was their specific need, I'd source it for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that how you do it? You weren't really, you didn't have like stock or anything. You'd get an order
The thing
and
is,
then you buy.
at first I would buy upon request, and then it got to a point where I had so many requests that I just ended up having a whole lot of stock, and reselling that just so I could give my clients like a faster service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And waist train is one of those things where you buy once and then it just works. Like it doesn't die, right? You don't have to buy multiple.
Let's not talk about waist trainers.
I'm just curious.
Let's talk about travel. Like, how can I say it? The thing is, most of my clients would buy maybe a size large, right? And as they lose weight, then go to a medium. So they have to buy a smaller one. As they go to a smaller size, etc., etc., etc. You know, so that's how it works.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, so you sold stuff and you saved money.
And I tutored, and I also had like a part-time job where I was working 4 hours, 4 times a week. So
4 hours, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And this is during
varsity.
Damn.
Yeah. But now that I'm working, I've come to just accept whatever my salary is.
Yeah.
And from that, the same way that you would portion when you budget, a portion of it would go to entertainment. You know what I mean? I have a budget for travel. You know, I would say maybe I want to save 5 to 10% of my salary towards travel. You know.
Yes.
And I would sort of space it out. So sometimes maybe I can afford one big trip a year and smaller ones like locally. So that's how I'd do it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's you just need to have a budget for it, make provision for it. If maybe your destination costs way more than what your budget provides, that's when you need to find other income streams, you know. So yeah.
Okay. So that's so and then in terms of let's say you now have the money to actually do the traveling. Now, what about accommodation? How do you sort that out beforehand? Let's say you're trying to go to multiple cities. All right. So you basically trying to hire multiple get multiple places to stay. Now, if you're on a budget, are you looking to do more backpacker type of accommodation, or like have you seen your accommodation needs change from the time when you're a student to now where you're working?
Yeah, definitely. So as a student, I'll do a lot of hostels.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of hostels. Those are very cheap. It can be like 100 rand a night, you know.
How comfortable are those?
They're quite comfortable because there's so many of them are built so well, where you'll also have like sort of like curtains around your bed, you know, so it gives you a bit more privacy.
So the hostel is a room full of beds. Is that
yeah?
what
So
you're saying?
you'd sleep in a dorm room.
Like in boarding school.
Yeah,
kinda.
where you
Okay.
have maybe 6 other people sleeping in the strangers.
And where do you keep your bags? Did you just like leave?
You
them
would
there?
have a storage. Every bed will be assigned like a storage space, and you know.
So
yeah.
your suitcases fit in there. Yeah, Pachi.
And I think now we see how I think a lot of people often think that if you're going on this vacation, it's very luxury, it's very this.
Yeah.
But sometimes people just really want to spend on what, like the experience, you know, like you don't really care as to what am I going to sleep on? Is it this? Is it that? You like more than willing to just sleep in the most basic way to like experience other things that you can like focus and spend your money on instead.
I guess at the end of the day, you're really just sleeping for a couple of hours.
Yeah,
when
you just
you
want to
sleep.
rest your body,
Rest
you
of
know.
the
So as
day,
long
yeah,
as you have
just
a comfortable
resting.
bed,
Right.
you're fine.
And then
And when you're traveling, like it's not like you don't sleep much. You literally sleep. You do things all day.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
literally go home to sleep.
Yeah.
So like I want to chill on the bed and watch a movie, Netflix, be
Right.
comfortable.
Exactly.
in that case, then
Yeah,
you need a
you-
comfortable place where maybe there's a TV in the room or something like
Exactly, yeah.
that. Okay, and the safety wise, you said it's pretty.
It's pretty safe.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Okay.
get a locker and it's safe.
It's basically like high school. I don't know if you guys went to boarding school.
I did for 3 months.
3 months only.
Yeah, so I have an idea of
You have
what
an
it's
idea of-
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also did.
You did?
Yeah.
Which one?
Little Achievers.
Oh yeah, she was so little though. She did it. It broke my heart. She was. How old were you?
I was 7.
Oh man,
She would cry all the time.
I can imagine.
I promise you, she was so horrible. My mom took us out like 3 months after being there. So yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Yeah. Damn, it's pretty dark. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna open the curtains.
Okay.
No, leave it. You can leave it. Okay, much better. Okay.
Yeah, much better on this side also.
All right, we're back. Damn. Okay. So and now, what's the vibe in terms of the accommodation you go for? Do you still go for hostels?
To be honest, I don't quite enjoy them, and so that's why I prefer to travel with someone else so that we can split the costs for a hotel room,
Yeah.
If you choose an affordable place to go to, like hotel rooms are not that expensive, I remember when I went to Bali, the average for like a 4-star hotel was around 500, It can even get cheaper. So it's not all that bad. You just need to spend some time on the different search engines like your booking.com, hotels.com, hotels combined. There's so many apps you can use,
So you guys don't use Airbnb. You prefer using hotels.
I've used Airbnb also,
Okay.
The thing is Airbnb is not always cheap, especially since it's gained a lot of popularity. I think also that sometimes the added values of having a hotel, like, you'll have someone to clean up the room and room service and, so there's sometimes it's more beneficial to be in a hotel. So for example, if I were going to Europe for a long time, Airbnb is a much better choice because hotels are very expensive. But when you're in Bali or somewhere that's a bit affordable, it might just be the same price to go for hotel or an Airbnb.
Okay, because I've always just thought Airbnb would be cheaper than a hotel, but that's obviously not necessarily
Not
the case.
always the case, no.
Okay, interesting. Okay. And visa-wise, I think we spoke briefly about it. What place do you think you found it most difficult to get a visa?
It has to be England, the United Kingdom of the Queen Elizabeth. It was the most painful visa process. I think
What's the process?
So it's just, I think for me, it was the lack of support, like when I went to their websites of knowing exactly what supporting documents I need to make the application. They're so vague about it. They're just like, bring some supporting documents. You don't know what exactly. So if you haven't applied for a visa before by yourself, you struggle, So fortunately for me, I had done the Schengen visa before and I'd use agents that helped me out. So I went to like a consulate and they had so they apply to the embassy on your behalf type of thing. So they give you guidelines on, okay, bring these documents. They will definitely help you or increase your chance of getting the visa,
What kind of documents?
So you just need proof of transportation, your flights and your return that, you've paid for it or you're about to pay for it and you'll return home. You need your proof of accommodation because they want to know that when you get to the country, you are accommodated,
Yes.
They want to have a contact of the hotel also, just maybe to verify that is this client going to come stay there. They want to have proof of funds also. So they need, I know every country has, they'll give you like a margin or a guideline of how much you'd need on a daily basis in terms of spend in transportation. So they sort of combine that and they'll say maybe the average for London is 50 pounds a day, something like that. So they want to see that in your bank account you have sufficient funds, right? So when I was a student, I would save my own money, but I'd ask my mom to be my sponsor because she had more money in her bank account. I would just have maybe that 5,000 rand for like the 3 weeks, because I know
So she won't necessarily then give you money, but
but she'd be my sponsor
for just to make sure. Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes when you go into places like Europe or the UK, it's nice if you know people who live there, and then they can also give you some sort of sponsorship letter to be like, oh, we know her, we'll help her out. Just some.
Like you won't sleep on the streets, basically.
Yes. Should anything happen, we'll be the backup plan, for example, even if you're not staying with them. What else do you need? You also need so when I was a student, I needed a proof of registration at varsity, just so they know that I'm still enrolled in a program and I'm going to go back. And now that I'm employed, I need like proof of employment. So my employer needs to write that, this person is employed here and, maybe list a few projects that you're heavily involved in.
Yeah.
Just to give assurance that you're coming back home. You also obviously need a passport,
Yes.
with around 6 empty pages. That's valid for at least the next 6 months. And I think that's the bulk of the things that you would need to. And so with the UK, with the Schengen visas, the consulates give you like a checklist. This is what we want from you. And different embassies or countries require different things. So it was a bit tough with the UK where they didn't necessarily provide that checklist that, I was expecting. So, yeah.
I'm actually currently applying for a visa to go to the States.
And how's that process been?
So, I mean, the only thing I've done so far is the online application. And so I finished that last week. And then, so the second stage is going for the interview. So that's happening in August.
Yeah.
Did you have to, there was no need for an interview for...
So I had to go in the embassy or the consulate and, do my biometrics, my fingerprints.
Yeah.
And so have someone also to just accept my documents. It wasn't necessarily an interview, but it was, you have to go in given your documents in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to
So,
have to
like,
go
what
for an
kind of,
interview.
do you have an idea of what kind of questions they'll be asking you?
I'm actually not sure. I'm going to ask. I have a friend of mine who got the visa sometime last year. So he's going to tell me basically what kind of questions they ask.
It always helps to have past papers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like you said, they for the States one, they also said supporting documents.
Did they specify what documents?
So I went on another website. They didn't specify. They were
Okay.
saying, stuff like you're saying, just to show that you're gonna come back.
Yeah,
That's the
and
main
that you
thing.
can afford it. Yeah.
That you can afford it. So I guess a 3-month bank statement would help. Like you said, proof of employment. That would help to show that I'm
Letter from
employed.
employer that you're coming back.
Exactly. So yeah, and then also I'll be staying with my friend. So that's a big expense that's actually been covered for me.
Yeah, so he can just write a sponsorship letter for you.
Yeah. So because he stays in New York, so I'm just gonna be chilling.
That sounds
in New York.
exciting, man.
I'm super excited.
I want to go with you, but I can't afford it.
Yeah, because I'll be man. I'm so excited. Upper East Side.
Oh, wow.
Manhattan,
Manhattan.
Brooklyn, Queens.
Oh, man, sounds amazing.
So exciting. Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. So I'm also kind of, I'm a person who doesn't like planning trips, but luckily, because I'm traveling alone, it makes it easier. All I have to do for me, because I have accommodation, I just have to buy my ticket, get my visa, and
It's funny, I read somewhere that 30% of the excitement of going on a trip you find during the planning phase. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of excitement also to be found during planning, because that's when you discover, okay, what do I want to get from this trip? What do I want to see? You have your checklist, so that when you're at there, because so many things can happen, so many things can get in the way, but like when you have your goals, you tick them as you're there and you're more focused on, okay, this is what I want to see. And you make sure you do that, because I think if you don't plan, it's a bit tricky where you could literally come back and you're like, I didn't see as much as I could or as I wanted to.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have a plan.
Or you actually even come back and you discover things about the place that you actually had a few months ago and you're like, what? I didn't even know about this.
That would
Exactly.
suck.
And that hurts,
That would
Like, I was
suck.
there, but
Yeah.
so if you
That would
pre-plan,
suck.
then you kind of like have like a bucket list as to this must be done, that must be done, and you work according to that.
Yeah. Because I
Okay.
know when we were planning Turkey, for example, like even like where we wanted to eat, like what we wanted to see, how to best like space out the activities and which days are more suitable for what activity, and it just helps you get the most out of your trip.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the two most important things on it, because I'm a big sports fan, so I want to go for an NBA game, watch some
Nice.
basketball.
Get me a husband.
Get you a husband. Get my sister a
Tall
husband.
husband.
Get you a husband, 2
Yes.
meters tall.
Rich.
Rich, standard. Party, you're good. I shouldn't.
I
hook
mean,
you up
I'm
with
good, but a side husband won't hurt,
okay.
Gotta be safe. Backup plan.
Backup plan. Okay, backup plan is necessary. So I definitely want to do that. And I was looking at what games will be there during the time I'm
Okay,
there, you
yeah.
know. So I did do that, and I also want to go to an American football game. That's actually why I had to go during that November, because I also didn't want to go in. It's too cold
Yeah.
at the same time, so the window was very small. So I realized late October, early November. That's the best time where both sports are being played.
Nice.
For me to go there. And then so I have to get those tickets sorted. As soon.
I mean, from what I went to New York when I was very little.
Yeah.
From what I can recall, I remember enjoying going to the Empire
State.
Building. It's so tall, and you get
I
a
have to
beautiful
go
view
there.
of the city.
Yeah.
So that was nice. We went to some UN place, United Nations.
My friend actually
Space.
works at UN.
No, that was in Florida,
Oh,
Space
yes.
Kennedy, NASA. But they have.
Oh, you guys went to NASA?
Yes.
Wow.
I was excited. What else is in New York? Because we were kids, we enjoyed a lot of going into. They had like nice, beautiful toy stores that just you go in there and you just
Yeah.
lost in a different world.
Yeah.
And also, I think if you want sneakers, you can get them like fairly reasonably priced there in New York.
Yeah.
What else?
Also, it's New York. I feel like just walking up the street with the lights on is just amazing in
Yeah.
itself.
Maybe Broadway.
Yeah.
Maybe catch a show in Broadway.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
in terms of the planning, Glenn, I think it also, in as much as it's very important to plan your days, this is what I'm going to do. I think for our trip to Turkey, we literally planned to the core. We would be like, okay, we're arriving on this day. This is what we're doing when we get there.
To the
Tuesday,
T.
Wednesday. We literally had like something to do each, and that was like pre-planned. But it's also important to kind of like be very flexible in your planning in terms that, for instance, on days I would plan to go swimming or whatever, it would rain, but we planned our stuff in such a way where we in that area on that day, so we have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like Pamukkale, let's say.
Yes,
Like we could have
I
planned that
know.
on the day where it rained, but it wasn't flexible to a point where we could just cancel it if it did. Like if
Yeah.
it was raining or if we were going anyway.
We had
You
to
just have to
because
be like, try be very flexible
Yeah.
when you plan your activities out.
Okay.
that's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, I'm actually going to be working remotely, so I'm not like fully fledged. It's not a fully fledged holiday, but I'm going to try and negotiate to make me work half days, because I'm in New York, that means the time zone's completely different.
Yeah.
So working will be a bit hard, but I can make it overlap in terms of I can work the second half of the day
Yeah.
in
You
South
can-
Africa.
Yeah, you can.
So that would be the morning
way
there.
around
So if
it.
I
Yeah.
if I can do 4 hours from 6 a.m. to like 10, then I'm
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Then the rest of the day I'm
You have
basically
yeah.
doing my thing,
Fair enough.
exploring. That sounds about right. So hopefully I can do that. Hopefully my boss hooks me up with that sweet
Yeah.
deal.
Are you listening, boss?
Hope you're
Hint,
listening,
hint, snatch,
boss.
snatch.
Mark, please. Yes. Okay. And what are your Instagram handles? Let's do some plugging.
Okay, so I go by _Dakaro,
Right.
Igobi _Dakaro.
Right.
And I'm Black.Petro, Petro.
Yeah, so just give the girls a follow. Great content. DK has a travel blog, and she posts a lot of dope pictures with like travel.
Travel
information,
stories,
travel
travel
tips,
itineraries.
Yes, and your blog your blog URL is in your bio. I'm guessing on
In
your
my Instagram,
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I'll normally put in like my latest post there.
your latest post, the link to your latest post, and what's it called? The actual blog.
It's called Dash Travel and Tours.
Dash Travel and
Yes.
Tours. And part two, do you have a YouTube channel or something that you'd want to plug, or not quite? Not really. No, nothing in the works.
Just follow me.
Just follow part two. That's good enough for her. Fair enough. And then me also. Just subscribe to my YouTube. We reached 100 subscribers on YouTube.
Yay!
Yes.
Congrats.
Yes. Thank you. I was. It was a very proud day.
And you just started, right?
Yes.
The YouTube part.
Yes. It was a
Awesome.
very proud day.
Teach me your ways.
It was a very proud day. And thank you to the people who have subscribed. Appreciate the support. Just keep doing what you're doing. Like, comment. Those are very crucial for the YouTube algorithms. And also, I mean, look, I post clips on Instagram too. So on I have
IGTV.
IGTV
Yeah.
also, yes.
Is it somehow linked to YouTube or no?
No, it's
okay.
not. It's not. Yeah, because I Instagram is owned by Facebook,
Facebook.
and YouTube by Google. Right. So not
Glenn,
quite
I think I have a
affiliated.
question for you now that
Yeah?
you're talking about IGTV,
Okay.
IG, this
Shoot.
and that. So I read again this week how, you know how Instagram is kind of like taking down their likes, taking down this, taking...
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Man, the likes thing. At first, I read the reasons why they're doing that, which is to fight kind of depression in a way.
Yeah.
Because obviously
our
people.
generation is very depressed and they're so reliant on, that instant gratification
Yeah.
and that validation that comes
Yeah.
from being popular and being liked.
Exactly, and I mean, look, fair enough. And also another reason they put was we want people to post what they actually want to post.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Not what's
understand that
popular,
initially.
yeah,
I didn't understand it
views.
initially, and then I actually got it because I was like, sometimes I want to post a picture of I don't know, my not food necessarily, my view right here.
Exactly. I was about to say something like that.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna post that because
it won't get many likes.
It's not gonna give me 150 likes. But if I post a picture, a selfie of me and Black.Petro, or me and DK, that's gonna get me 150. So I'm gonna post that. But if they do that, and I don't know if you saw a screenshot of what it's actually gonna look like. It's actually gonna be, because right now it says 9. It's a Magic Deuce and 9 other people liked it. So now it just says Magic Deuce and others liked this picture. But the thing is, you can still see how many people.
You can see your own statistics. Because I was actually very I was wondering how now brands are going to be able to work with influencers. How they're going to, what is it going to be all
I think
about?
content, Patu, you know what I mean? I think they need to judge based on the quality of the content.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
you have your own statistics, so I guess it will still work for them because they can still, the brands can still require.
because
So
remember,
they
your
could,
currency is the people who see
But
your
I guess
content.
now brands will approach a whole lot more people and not just, so they won't just start from the popular ones, you know what I mean? So if a brand thinks you've got talent, you've got potential, maybe it will inspire brands to also groom people to, like, for example, if you've got the creative genius behind it, maybe they can work with you towards gaining that popularity. I don't know. I think it just opens doors for bigger things.
Maybe.
But I like that, man. Like, I know, like, sometimes I just really want to post a picture of the ocean, but I'm like, yo,
It's gonna give me like 15 likes.
Yeah,
That's not a good
like,
look.
it's
You know what I
like my
mean?
audience likes it when I'm also in the picture, but it's not every day I want to be in the picture.
Yeah, so in that sense, it makes sense. But I don't know. It's an interesting pivot. I would have thought this would be a new app.
But you know, there's so many people who are so reliant. I think for me, the fact that they're trying to do this to tackle depression, I think that's very important, you know. So many, like even celebrities, like your Kim Kardashians, they'd be like, oh, didn't get so many likes. I'm sure Kylie Jenner, like, really likes to see if she gets less than 1 million, because she's so used to getting like an average of 30 million likes. Yes. If she gets less than 1 million, she's like, I'm sure it makes her feel a bit, you know, sad. I don't know. So
it's interesting. Yeah, I'd like to, I'm gonna read more on the psychology of it and see if it actually makes sense. Look, it's still in the early phases of it.
Yeah.
They might not go through with it,
but
it looks like they will.
I think they
Do you want it to go through?
Because,
I think they will.
I think it's countries like Australia where it's already like with
they've already pushed it
updates,
there.
it's already and they're just working on bringing it to the other countries now.
Yeah.
So like it was like with what is it, Instagram Music? It's not
Yeah,
available in your country.
Yeah. So annoying. But anyway, Daz, thanks so much for joining me.
All
I
right,
really
man.
do appreciate it.
I had fun.
Thank you. So did I. And I'm sure the listeners did too. Amateurs, thank you so much for listening in and tuning in again. I appreciate it. We're here every week, so just tune in, tell a friend, tag them on Instagram when I post a little snippet of a good old clip. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next week, I think I'll check y'all later. And thanks for joining me.
Peace out.
All right, peace.